Quick, what do you think Sniper Elite is all about? A. You play as a snipe, meaning a wadding bird of marshes and wet meadows, with an elite bloodlust. B. You play as an elite sniper with a thing for dead bodies. Or C. I really want that first game to exist. Crap, I've already derailed the video. Look. All you need to know is that rifles play a large part in this game, so I removed them. Before actually getting into it, I think it's important that you understand a little bit of history during World War II. See, the Nazis had recently taken off... Blah, blah, blah. All you really need to know is that I need to kill in any way that I can. God, is that guy still talking? How the hell do you sit through that crap? Anyways, getting into it, you might be thinking that I'm completely useless without a rifle, but oh, the contraire. I'm useless even with a rifle. No, I've an SMG, a silenced pistol, and my favorite, the stabby stab. Don't ask why I have a favorite form of murder. But I mean, look, you see how badass this is? Grovel at the gory details of the rock? But no, being serious, right off the bat, the game really wanted me to plan ahead, and more specifically, shoot someone with a rifle. Yeah, it turns out that the game was kind of forcing me, so I went to my usual strat of running away from my problem. I made sure to turn off tutorials, and we were back in business. Don't look so shocked. I have no idea with what I'm doing in life, but more specifically in this game. Anyways, back into it, our character Carl showed us that he's one of the most skilled there is. Quiet as a mouse, dance moves that bar none, and excellent form. Oh, no, not excellent dance form, excellent murder form. My first objective was to off 4 officers as well as any offending parties, and on my way there, I ran across some dead bodies. I started to get super worried, as that means there's a murderous psycho on the loose, but then I remembered, yeah, I was the one that did that. I'm the murderous psycho. Now I know what you're thinking, we've killed 3 guards now, and I haven't even bothered to give my testimony on the detestable testing of testicle popping, and unfortunately, I have good news and bad news. Good news is I found a dictionary, could you tell? And bad news is that due to my lack of rifle, the only balls getting stomped on today will be my own. Good thing I'm into that stuff. I then ran into a truck that I wanted to see go boom, and I was actually surprised when I pulled it off. So naturally, I took this newfound information and expanded it, as well as a couple of bodies. But the Germans seemed so impressed that one of them even laid down a beat. Granted, I'm as white as a sheet, but I'll try to compete. If my brain has cells, does that make it a prison? I'm pretty sure that mine is, but yours surely isn't. Don't worry, make a joke, just sit and laugh. Now watch as I choke you fucking... Where did the beat go? I am so sorry for making you sit through that. Thank you for indulging me though. Do me a favor, never speak at this moment again. I then did some murdering that would make you assume that there was still activity in my brain, and I ran into one of my 4 targets. He was gardening? So, for his final wish, I made sure to water his plants. With blood. His blood. I decided to just run away, and I kind of forgot that people don't like murder. You get wanted in 7 countries and you'd think you'd learn a lesson. So yeah, my body joined my officer buddy as fertilizer, and after reloading, I decided to just wait it out. Time heals all wounds, except for the ones through the brain, those don't heal. Anyways, I then did a little bit of body groping, don't worry, they were already dead, and I ran into my next target. Literally, ran into him like we're old friends. Except, you know, I shot him in the head. My psychiatrist says that friends don't do that. I then decided to visit the only named officer, Schmitty, in his house. Why did they give him a name? I feel like some idiot will get overly attached. Schmitty, shh. It's just me and you now. Shh, can calm down. It's just you and me. Forever. Anyways, after easily taking him out, I decided to make his outpost my home, so that, you know, I can protect him. You never know what psychos are out there. Also, his house is just really nice. After a long day of murder, I just want somewhere nice to relax. But of course, waves and waves of Nazis just kept on coming, and Sniper Elite quickly turned into Texas Simulator as I protected my property with my right to bear arms. Also, just my bare arms, they worked as well. I would tell you more about how I got around, but honestly, there isn't that much to say. It was mostly just like listening to me trying to wake up, weird gasping, and even weirder heart palpitations. Oh yeah, and the sudden urge for murder, forgot about that. So after a little bit of sneaking, I found out that my next next target was on the highest fortress in the map. Well, if you could count a couple of tents as a fortress. And I started to get a little bit worried because my pistol sometimes doesn't work at long ranges or at all due to my abysmal aim. So here's the story. I find myself behind enemy lines as well as also a literal enemy, so I pull out my pistol and of course, my horrible aim shows its horrible face. The alarms quickly went on full blast and I just said screw it. But as I went around this tent, I knew that my death was imminent. But surprisingly, without intent, I found my target just sitting there, behind cover, but in the opposite direction? Someone must have put on his brain backwards. Luckily, there's a simple solution. It involves a bullet. Okay, I'm not sure on how I'm gonna explain this one to the war crimes meeting. It was his dying wish. He wanted to be part man, part sidewalk. I mean, that's a pretty common dream. The Empire State Building has 30 suicide attempts for a reason. Anyways, I then found my target, and luckily their base is completely loaded with trucks. So without a second thought, or even a first, I ruptured my eardrums again. After a little bit of looking around, not being able to find the target, I realized that my explosions had killed him. And people say that work and highly explosives don't mix. So yeah, with that done, a new day, a new mission, a new explosion, all that fun stuff. Currently, there's a revolution against now Nazi-occupied Italy. The natives are currently being killed by the hundreds, so it's my job to meet up with their leader, the recently orphaned angel. Dark, right? Can we go back to the fun kind of murder? First on my list, just to make things a teensy bit easier, is a sniper. Man, I wish I could just snipe him back, but unfortunately that's not the name of the game. Wait, I tried to go as sneakily as possible along the sunny empty beaches, but there was this annoying boat that was disrupting my journey. Thankfully, after studying its route, I found that right here, I'm just close enough to disrupt this guy's brain functions as payback. I then did a bunch of boring stuff, snuffing out the light in a soldier's eyes, stealing letters meant for their family, inappropriately touching their butt. What's that? What's a Geneva Convention? I then ran into this door, and apparently the revolution is happening right in there. I just wasn't invited. Yeah, I was forced to crash the party, and also this door down.
Must be the angel.
So you're an angel. Well, are you the devil? Because it definitely looks like you fell from heaven. Also, you've murdered and tortured like a crap ton of people. Angel Face here wants me to take out an armored gun as some sort of test, which, well, how do I say this? You don't become a YouTuber because you do good on tests. One of my other objectives is to take out a crashed plane or something. Honestly, my attention span also kinda crashed. Sure, I'll take out the plane. Holy this game, wow, is all I've ever wanted. This dynamic, beautiful mountain view, the subtle song of birds chirping, and the option to hang myself. It's enough to make me cry. As I was saying, I decided to take out the plane first. Such idiotic guards, you always have to keep your eyes peeled. I can do it for you if you want, although all I have is a shaving razor. There were hordes and hordes of Nazis, and I had to be very careful. I went through enemy after enemy with only a knife, got scared by my own ghost, and was finally able to blow up the American plane. I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Anywho, time to take out the pilot so that he doesn't tattle on me.
Jackpot.
That flash of white light is a sniper about to blow our brains out. This is not a time to celebrate. Well, both of us probably don't have that much to worry about. So yeah, I took care of the body, deleted some footage, you know, basic hide your steps when you did something awful stuff. I then finally moved on to the armored gun, and on my way there, I decided to take out a tank, cause why not? It didn't hurt to try. Well, except for all those times it did hurt and all the Nazis who were violently blown up, but you get what I mean. The base I need to go through surrounds this bridge where the gun is. It also happens to be ridiculously guarded. Due to my lack of silenced ammo, any guard even 2 feet away was a massive threat. It took a lot of attempts, but I finally found one path that left me unharmed. But now, the bridge that held the gun. This last section was a little bit tricky because all of the guards were quite, I just have to show you. Yeah! See why it was hard to explain? No, my real problem, aside from dying over and over, was this. I need this explosive to go off, but at the same time, I can't shoot it while I'm on the bridge, meaning that the only way to activate it would be to use a sniper rifle, or a long-distance pistol shot, but that's impossible. I tried every little gun and explosive I had, but none of it was enough. I wasn't able to get far enough before I went along with the bridge, but as I barely gripped onto life, an important thought popped into my head. Has anyone ever made a knock-knock joke at death's door? Let's see, death breath rhymes. No, the actual thought that came to my head was that timed TNT would be perfect, so I had to reload the mission in order to get some. Mental note, watch out for Nazis next time. But being serious, I ran through every objective and passed bullets for this final test. See, theoretically, I will be able to throw timed TNT at this satchel and run away while the timer goes off. It took a couple of tries because, you know, my brain, but eventually, surprisingly, it worked. The timer had given me just enough time to reach a different part of the bridge. Honestly, I was expecting to make this a one and done thing, but I'm currently a week behind schedule, and just now while editing, I realized that I'm not even halfway done yet. So here we are, a 2-part series. This video has been swamped in setbacks and technical difficulties, so I really appreciate you waiting. I know that my videos usually end here, but I have 2 quick announcements. One, I will now be live streaming every Wednesday at 3 p.m. GMT/10 a.m. EST, and I will be doing a bunch of variety stuff, so you can learn more about little old me. Second, because the YouTube algorithm is BS, I will be doing a small shout out at the end of each video. This week, it's a small YouTuber that's been here since 30 subs, The Lucky Bowtie. They do sketch comedy, gaming, and whatever this is. Wow. So if you're the teensiest bit interested, check him out. The link will be in the description. Anyways, this is getting way too long. I'll see you next week.